ask the brothers that you please uncover your heads. Sisters, please cover your heads as you face the reading.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done in earth,
thy will be done in earth,
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Lord, give us this day our daily bread,
And forgive us our debt,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
In Jesus' name we pray.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
All right. Open up for the Q&A. Anybody have any questions?
I think I got some questions.
Pertaining to the Bible? Excuse me. I'm gonna try to answer them the best way I know according to the scriptures. Yes, ma'am.
Can it be read that Indians and Mexicans are Israel?
No, because Mexicans are from Spain.
Are in the Bible?
Can it be read?
Can
They're
it be
from
read?
Spain.
Order.
Because IUIC and GOCC and HOI, you know, all of these camps, they are, all of these camps are teaching that these specific races or whoever are this specific tribe. So I want to know, how do they get that? Can it be read? Are they actually looking it up in the Bible and saying, okay, this can be read, so yes, this is who you are?
Right.
Or are they just, oh, I'm going to just say this is who this is?
Right. No, you cannot read Indians or what else? Indians, Hispanics.
Indians, Hispanics, Haitians,
Native
Jamaicans,
Americans.
Trinidadians.
Haitians I'm sorry. This is not my Bible study.
Well, I asked because I'm Jamaican and they tell me I'm been like, my cousins, they're Haitians, they tell them they're Levites.
Yeah,
So it's like, can any of this be read?
No, it can't be read.
So where are they getting it from?
I know what they get from. Sorry.
I just want to know where they're getting it from. Like, for this to be Israel, and you're just coming up with something that you can't even read. Where are you getting it from to begin with? Because it's not in the Bible.
Be quiet.
But yet you're teaching all of Israel this.
Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4. Deuteronomy chapter 4. And we're going to read. Pick it up at verse 24.
For the Lord thy God is a consuming fire, even a jealous God.
Right, now let's back up to verse 14. This was Israel's issue here. Go ahead, bro.
And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and judgments, that you might do them in the land whether you go over to possess it.
Right, so we were supposed to keep these statute laws and judgments.
I'm sorry, where are we?
We have Deuteronomy 4. It says, the Lord commanded me at the time to teach you statutes and judgments that ye might do them in the land whether you go over to possess it. They on their way to the promised land. Verse 15.
Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves.
Uh-huh.
And ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire.
Go ahead.
Lest ye corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, that the likeness of man or male or female.
Right, dealing with idolatry. Keep going.
The likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air. the likeness of anything that creepeth on the ground. The likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth.
Right, so the Lord didn't want us dealing with this idolatry. The reason why, go back to verse 24.
For the Lord thy God is a consuming fire, even a jealous God.
He's a jealous God. So since we disobey God, keep going. 25.
When thou shalt beget children and children's children, you shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, and make a graven image or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of the Lord thy God, to provoke him to anger.
Right, so it's almost the Lord is pretty much saying, hey, I already know what you about to do. When ye shall beget children and children's children, you shall have remain long in the land. So when you remain long in the land, it says, and shall corrupt yourselves and make graven images and likeness of anything that shall do evil in the sight of the Lord thy God, to provoke him to anger, even though he already told you what he don't want you doing. But he already know what you're going to do anyway. Verse 26.
I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day.
He said, I'll call heaven and earth to witness against you today. That's something powerful right there. He said, I'll call heaven and earth to witness what you going to do once you get in this land. Go ahead, brother.
That you shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereunto you go over Jordan to possess it. You shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed.
You're going to be utterly destroyed. Keep going.
And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations.
Oh, so the Lord shall scatter you among the nations. So who's to say, like, who we be like, well, you know, the Haitians is the Levites, or the Jamaicans, or the Benjamites. Who are we to say that if the Lord scatter us? Because we disobeyed him. He said, and the Lord shall scatter you among the nations. Go ahead.
And ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you.
Go ahead.
And there ye shall serve God, the work of man's hands, wood and stone, which neither see nor hear, nor eat nor smell.
Go ahead.
But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find him. If thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
And through it all, the Lord is still merciful. He said, even though I'm going to scatter you, but if you turn from your ways, you know, it says here, what? Read that again, verse 29.
But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find him. If thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
And that's why we are here today. Because we sought the Lord. But we still in our captive land. They say the so-called African Americans, they are what? That's Judah. That's the tribe of Judah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What you got, brother?
They get all that stuff from Genesis chapter 49.
Yeah, I was gonna hit that, but at the same
That's where they
time,
get it
it's
from.
like there's no scripture proof.
It's not proven. It's just that.
It's not. It's speculations.
That's all it is.
That's all it is, and that's where that tribe chart is based. Is the foundation is on speculations. How they try to break that down. Go ahead.
Didn't you see the video about, I forgot the name of the person who originally made the chart? The people he was around. I think one of the guys made a video admitting that it was made up just to attract more people.
Yeah, and it seemed like because we such a it's a good play out because we are such a lost people, and to be like, yo, you know you from the tribe of Issachar, right? You like, word?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Right.
Dang, okay. Now I have an identity. So that's easy to attract, especially somebody black.
Oh yeah.
You just told you was African and you was African all your life.
Right.
You know, you try to switch it up. You didn't stop doing Christmas, but you picked up Kwanzaa.
Oh.
Start lighting candles and talking about Umoja and all that craziness.
But yeah.
But here, all because of disobedience, The Lord says what? I shall scatter you among the nations. You're going to be all over the place.
4 corners of the earth.
4 corners of the earth. So what about the black people that's over there in Russia? Who are them?
Right.
You got black people in China. Who are them?
Right.
You got like what like they don't get a tribe?
The Mexicans get
Like how you just pick up the Mexicans and you calling Haiti, Levites and all that. And I heard that, you know, they say the Haitians are Levites because they deal with a whole bunch of voodoo and a lot of black magic and all that craziness that go on. But they ain't the only ones that they do that in Jamaica too. They do that in Africa. They do that. Like I said, we all over the place. But the Lord said, I'm going to scatter you among the nations. So you're not going to be among your people. You're going to be among other nations. So let's go to Genesis 10 though. Matter of fact, let's go to Genesis. What is that? Genesis 49? Let's go to Genesis 49. Let's just read it just for kickers to see if we can get anything of what this 12 tribe chart is talking about. Because that's the main scripture. Genesis 49. Genesis 49. And we're going to pick this up at verse 1. 49 and 1. Get it, my brother, go ahead.
And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together and hear, you sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
Go ahead.
Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power.
Keep going.
Unstable as water,
You unstable as water. Go ahead.
thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, when then defilest thou it. Went up to my couch.
He went up to my couch. In other words, Reuben, he had slept with one of his father's concubines. So, who is Reuben? Who's the tribe of Reuben?
I think that's
Let's just say the tribe of Reuben is, let's just say, I don't know,
Puerto Rico.
the Hispanics,
No, that's Mexico. No,
the Puerto Ricans. Let's just say they're the Puerto Ricans. Reuben is Puerto Rican. Let's just say that. Where do you get Puerto Rican out of that? Only thing I got out of this is say, hey, all I got out of Reuben is, hey, he's unstable, and he did something foul. He slept with one of his father's concubines.
Reuben's Indian.
Oh, he's Indian?
Yeah.
Come on.
So Reuben,
Give me a feather or something. Show me a buffalo. Show me something that I can link that. No, I'm serious. That I can link this to the Indians.
Right. Right.
You can't link this to the Indians.
No.
Let's go some more. Read verse 5.
Simeon and Levi are brothers. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
Okay, I see.
O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly mine honor. Be not thou united, for in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. Curse be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel.
Okay, so he
All right,
said, so Simon and Levi,
it's Haiti.
that's
Haiti
supposed to
and
be
Dominican.
Haiti
Yeah.
and
In the Dominican Republic, so they,
Dominican
they
Republic.
share that island.
Right,
So
they
try to
together,
say,
but
yeah.
they split.
Right. So that's what they get them.
But when you read the end of that in verse 7, it says, because cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. So we still dealing with some people that's being scattered. But still, you dealing with speculation.
Right.
Because they understand it says what instruments of cruelty, that's supposed to be dealing with I guess that's I don't
The
know.
revolt because you weren't able to conquer them, the
Right.
colonies.
But that's what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying that's what.
But that's not what they're saying. They're
Correct.
saying the instruments of cruelty are the black magic. And that's what they saying was instruments of cruelty
They call
is.
it
Dealing with magic. Witchcraft.
No, wait a minute. Is it the internet saying that or the Bible saying that?
No, that's
They-
what
But
they're
the internet
saying.
is saying that.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
saying that.
Okay.
That what was out. That what was told to me.
Right. Instruments of cruelty in the Bible referring to it means as to what?
That was
All
my
I could
thing.
see was violence.
Was it
Instruments.
referring to how it says, "Be not thou united, for in their anger they slew a man"? Was that out there? That's what I'm thinking. I was talking about Moses. When it says instruments of cruelty for the fact that they, killed that entire nation of people.
Okay, that's where I was gonna go with it, because their sister got raped,
Right.
and
Oh,
when she got raped, they was like they formulated a plan to get back at them, and their fathers was like, don't
Right.
do it, but they
Let's
did.
go to Genesis 34. Let's read it. Talking about their sister Dinah.
Dinah, yeah.
Dinah.
I don't know if she was raped.
Genesis 34 and
Two. Four,
Yeah, let's pick up- let's pick up the
start
verse
at the top.
one.
One.
Yeah,
Go ahead, bro.
And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare to Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her.
So that could have been rape. It says
Well,
he
he-
took her and laid with her and defiled her.
She didn't go to none of the men in the family or the father as what you supposed to do back in the customary time.
Right.
He took her.
So he laid with her, and then not only did he defiled it, so he did it, I guess, forcefully. Go ahead, bro.
And his soul clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, and spake kindly unto the damsel. And Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, Get me this damsel to wife. And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto
Hold
Jacob.
on, I think when it says like I don't think it was for. I think he did it without getting permission.
Yeah, but I'm saying he didn't go to the He didn't
Right.
go to
The better
the
down.
Right. So, but it wasn't so much of a force, like he raped her.
You just didn't do make
Okay.
up.
It's another phrase they use when it's talking about force. There's something else they say.
Well, like Tamar and David's son.
Right.
I think she was a virgin because it said
Yeah.
defiled.
Yeah, she was
But I
definitely-
mean, he brought her cloth down, he brought her flowers down.
Right. But I think he didn't go through the.
Yeah, I don't mean like violent, beat her up, rape. I mean like he didn't go through the steps of
Right.
going through the father or going through the first son and saying, may I lay with her or be with her.
Right.
You know,
Man.
rape is strong word. Five.
And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah his daughter, and now his sons were with his cattle in the field, and Jacob held his peace until they were come. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. Appreciate it. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved, and they were very wroth. because he had brought folly into Israel in line with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done.
Uh-huh.
And Hamor communed with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longeth for your daughter. I pray you give her him to wife.
Go ahead.
And make ye marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you. And ye shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you, and dwell and trade ye therein, and get ye possessions therein. And Shechem said unto her father, and unto her brethren, let me find grace in your eyes, and what ye shall say unto me I will give. Ask me never so much dowry and gift. I will give according as ye shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to wife.
Yes, they was willing to give gifts and all kind of stuff just to
Right.
get this girl. Go ahead.
And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor, his fathers, deceitfully, and said, because he had defiled Dinah their sister. And they said unto them, we cannot do this thing, to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us.
So he was of the uncircumcision.
Yeah, but that's when the plan formulated
Yeah,
in their head,
exactly.
like, we gonna get
They
back
wasn't,
at
yeah,
them.
they wasn't having it.
Yeah, no.
Simeon and Levi weren't, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. When they knew you'd be injured and hurt from your operation of the circumcision for a few days, so,
Right, yeah, that's later on.
yeah, they was formulating
Yeah.
that plan.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us. We will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then will we take our daughter, and we will be gone. And their sword, and their words please Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son.
Right, and you know what? That's some love right there. If you was willing to just do that, just so he can be with her.
Yeah.
But the craftiness behind Simeon and Levi,
No, ain't happening.
Because this ain't Jacob they talking to the son.
right? Keep going.
And the young man deferred not to do the thing, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter. And he was more honorable than all the house of his father.
Mm-hmm.
And Hamor and Shechem, his son, came up to the gate of their city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, these men are peaceable with us. Therefore let them dwell in the land, and trade therein. For the land, behold, is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters.
Go ahead.
Only herein will the men consent unto us to dwell with us, to be one people. If every male among us be circumcised as they are circumcised, shall not be their cattle and their substance, and every beast of theirs be ours. Only let us consent unto them, and they will dwell with us.
Yeah, it sound real sweet. Go ahead.
And unto Hamor and unto Shechem his son hearkened all they that went out of the gate of his city, and every man and every male was circumcised, all that went out the gate of his city. And it came to pass on the third day, when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi,
Here we go.
and his brethren, took each man his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males. And they slew Hamor and Shechem, his son, with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of Shechem's house, and went out.
So not only they killed them, they even took their sister. Keep going.
And the sons of Jacob came and put upon the slain, and spoiled the city, because they had defiled their sister.
Uh-huh.
They took their sheep and their oxen and their asses, and that which was in the city, and that which was in the field. And all their wealth, and all their little ones, and their wives took them they captive, and spoiled all that which was in the house.
Right, so Simeon and Levi, they put grinding moves. So that's where when you go to, like, okay, you go back to Genesis 49, it's like, okay, well, where do you get instruments of cruelty? Or even,
There you
where
go.
did you even get the Levites being Haiti and Simeon being the Dominicans? Where you get that from? So it's like speculations.
No.
You can't read. What we can read is that Israel was scattered.
That's it.
That's what we can read. But let's go to Genesis 10 though. Well, we ain't even gotta go to Genesis 10. Huh? Yeah, we ain't even gotta go to Genesis 10. But we scattered all over. So where they get that chart from? You can make your own chart. Just put Jesus, put everybody's name. Because at the end of the day, that's who you want to be underneath.
That's right.
You want to be underneath the blood. You want to be underneath his word. So anything outside of that, you playing around.
I was seeing some on the book that kind of made me think about tattoos. This is one of the main debates among the council. Some people say you shouldn't get any at all. Some say, no, you can get some, you just can't get none with like any graven images or like any nobody that's deceased, because they say don't put your flesh or anything of the dead. They say he would have been more specific if he didn't want you to get any at all. But he said of the dead. So like when you get like a scripture tat, that's something different. And then like I don't know.
Better get 18.
Let's check it out.
Marking and cutting and
Let's check it out. Oh, man. Leviticus 18.
Yeah.
Leviticus 18 and 28. You get him, my brother, go ahead.
That the land spew not you out also when you defile it. Say 18.
Oh, I'm sorry, 19.
19 and 20.
19 and 20, I'm sorry.
You shall not make any cutting in your flesh for the dead.
So you shouldn't make any cuttings of your flesh. Cuttings in your flesh for the dead. You get that? Now, the dead.
Nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
So nor print any marks upon you. So the addition to you not putting any cuttings in your flesh, and put no marks on you.
Cool. That's all I need.
No Bible scriptures.
I was reading, I was looking at the comments, I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, I don't even know. I ain't know about 19. I don't have to into that.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Especially
it's
when you,
specified.
sorry, like you
Good.
put,
Yeah, you good.
so like, especially like when you come into knowledge of truth. Because before then, I had tattoos, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know, you know?
We'll get burned off.
I mean, yeah, you know, with my new body, you know what I mean? But I'm saying, when you don't know, but
Yeah.
Right.
now you know, it's like, all right, I can't go get no more tattoos and stuff like that. Now I know.
Right. Let's go
That's
to that.
all.
Let's go to Acts. Acts. Acts 17.
But you can probably get gold teeth, though.
Gold teeth.
Wear gold
CJ?
You want gold jewelry, yeah.
Let's go to Acts 17.
That's right.
You so know.
Icy.
Call them jewels.
Acts 17 and verse 30.
And the times of this ignorance God winked at.
Right. So in the time of our ignorance,
Yeah.
you know, the Lord went
There you
there.
go.
You know, we done a lot of stuff. We done got tattoos.
Yeah.
We done, you know, just something that we should have been dead a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know, but he said he winked at. Keep going.
But now commandeth all men
But
everywhere
now command all men everywhere to do what?
to repent.
To repent.
Yeah.
Repent. Like he said to the harlots, say no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Still too bad you can't get that sports bar tattoo back.
Yeah, it was a chest down the sleeve.
If I had, I'm saying, if I had, man, I wish I had this wisdom. I would have no tattoos on me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, true story. I was going to get them when I was in the Marines. You know, after we get out, we all cut up and look nice. And I was already spouting off the Bible to people. So it was like, and read it and didn't understand and know what they was talking about. So when I was in there about to get a tattoo, I said, man, don't you be always talking about the Bible and all that? And he said, well, what does this right here say? And he showed it to me. I'm like, oh my God.
Dang. What was you
And
reading?
dude, I had already picked the picture out. My arm was about to be on my chest, and it was like, I ain't got a
Right.
tattoo to this day. So the Lord was like,
What we was just reading
Oh,
today about
praise.
this comforter. How you gonna
Oh,
do
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Teach
Thank
you
God
all
with them
things.
truth, yeah.
Bring all things in remembrance.
Yeah.
yeah, and here's the thing. I just include this. It was the Gentile that told me.
Hey, the Lord can use anybody.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It was
Yeah,
because
he
they
used
was in there. I
anybody.
was like, oh man, I had to walk up out of there. I'm like, oh, dude.
Yeah, it's just if
Save
you willing,
some
it's just
money,
if you willing to listen.
No, and then the funny part about it, I went and got gold caps instead. I went and got gold caps because I wanted to,
Right.
I went in there.
Well, you was
They look
looking-
nice.
Yeah, you was safe with that.
Yeah, I went
Yeah,
and
you
got
safe
gold
with that.
caps.
I done had plenty of those.
Yeah.
Gold
But
caps.
you know what, man? A lot of, even though we understand that that's still law right now, most people don't understand. They'll look at that and say, "Oh, that's Leviticus. Oh man, that's Old Testament. We
That's
can
nailed to the cross.
we can do what we want to do." You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
We under grace.
dang, man. Whatever. I just want to add that.
Yeah,
We'll say it like
that ain't, but that ain't nothing. It's just that's just a calm mindset. It's a fleshly mindset right
Yeah, I
there.
can't.
Right.
Lord says, seek heavenly things.
Go get inked up.
Right.
You know?
Well, glad we read that.
No, it's like they got an answer for everything you try to tell them. They got a counter for
Right.
it, and it's
Yeah, but I don't know if that's
misunderstood.
really what's that talking about.
That's what,
Huh?
that's what we got to.
Huh?
That's what.
Right. Yeah, but that's the thing, but I don't even know if that's actually what that's talking about. Yeah, I don't know. I done heard different interpretations. I heard that cheeks thing, that could be actually talking about that. Like how would they have it? How would they have it in their mouth? How would they?
How would that?
Yeah.
We want the bones in the nose or something, or no?
Oh nah, he was bringing. Yeah, he was bringing something to
I
mind.
thought about, you know, them Africans used to have bones in the nose.
Right.
And then
Off your lip.
Oh, that's that witch doctor stuff.
piercing. Yeah, platelet.
Yeah, yeah.
I got him a plate lip.
You never see those? They have
Yeah,
like
I've seen it though, yeah.
they
It's
bind
stressed
lips.
I got him a plate though.
Just like
You know
it's
that's
stressed
plate
out.
on there, and you have it all
sauteing stuff on
No,
there.
Yeah, I was like, how do they get that stuff so big like
Because
that?
you gotta keep stretching it, like
Yeah.
it's just like
That don't
doing
hurt.
the earrings for your ears. You know, they keep putting the
built-
gauges
that's
in
against
to
the
make
law,
them
right?
bigger.
I know we can get piercings and stuff, but like when they get to the gauge now, that's just taking it too far, right?
Nah, that's the thing though. That ain't even that's not our custom.
That's not our custom at
Look,
all.
when you find out
I
you
ain't
got
doing
when people say you African and then you see what they gotta do,
They
it's
got
like
the daggone.
I'm not
they got
African.
the-
You gonna do
they got
it?
the ring, the ring.
yeah,
necks.
that was the
And
custom
do- and do-
to make their neck
Indonesia
small.
and
Like
all that.
if you like the longer your neck,
The richer you
yeah,
are.
yeah.
Cause them gold discs they got up on
Yeah, like you stretching your.
I
you
did a
know,
whole
killing
lot of
yourself.
studying on all of that stuff.
You don't mess
It's
with
like
that.
you have some that's based off witch doctor stuff, some based off of actual animals, and then some of these things are actually based off of, they look at it like, oh, this is how they gonna rank, how rich you are, your class, or they'll use it as far as this is what I do to stay in God's good grace and stuff like that. Like
Right.
each country is different, or because you know so many countries in Africa, but each country is literally different.
Jeremiah 10. Yeah, but that's just, yeah, that's the customs of the heathen, man.
Well, I don't know heathen, but that's like a painful custom.
Yeah, I don't even like needles. I couldn't do that.
Jeremiah 10. Jeremiah 10, pick up at verse 1. Uh-huh.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
Uh-huh.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen,
Learn not the way of the heathen. Go ahead.
and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Uh-huh.
For the customs of the people are vain.
Mm.
For one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of a workman
Right.
with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
Right. But yeah, but we, you know, we understand what that's talking about, but at the same token, you know, the same token is saying, hey, for the customs of the people are vain. You know, then he said in verse 2, thus say the Lord, listen, learn not the way of the heathen.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you know, they doing all kind of crazy stuff. Earlobes be hanging, they having their earlobes tucked in their underarms, like they have the earlobes. Nah.
It's nasty.
But you know, but that's what they do. You know, like we were just saying with the rings on the neck, like the longer your neck, like the more, you know, the
Prestigious
richer
you
you
are,
are,
right.
you know. You got some royalty or something.
Well, it's just a suicide. Sure.
But that ain't, you know, but that ain't our custom. You know, we can go to Ezekiel, what's that, Ezekiel 16, how the Lord hooked us up,
Yeah, we gotta change the rings.
you know. He can hook, he know how to hook some people up.
Not no lie. Actually, the connection stopped.
Say what's up, Jules.
What you say, Joe?
What's up, Jules?
Jules, what's up?
Jules.
Right, baby.
Oh, that was my question. It's on the back of that. But it's Psalm 70. He was sleeping. I didn't want to wake him up, but it's Psalm 75.
8.
Yeah.
Psalm 75 and 8. Pick it up at verse 1.
Unto thee, O God, do we give thanks. Unto thee do we give thanks. For that thy name is near, thy wondrous works declare.
Uh-huh.
When I shall receive the congregation, I will judge uprightly. The earth and all the inhabitants thereof are dissolved. I bear up the pillars of it, Selah. I said unto the fool,
I said unto the fools, go ahead.
deal not foolishly. And to the wicked, lift not up the horn.
Uh-huh.
Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. For God is the judge, He putteth down one, setteth up another.
Mhm.
For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth, shall wring them out, and drink them. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off. The horns of the righteous shall be exalted.
Right. So, verse 8. And he said, verse 7, but God is the judge. We got Psalm 75. He said, but God is the judge. He put it down one and set up another. In other words, he'll put who he wants in charge. You know, he'll take down one, Yao Hebrew.
Yeah, I gotta go home.
All right, bro, I'm going to
Said like a sad kid.
the judge, God is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture. How I'm looking at this is his destruction, his wrath. But the dregs thereof with the dregs thereof, all of the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. But I will declare forever, and will sing praises to God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will cut off. He's gonna bring anybody that, all the wicked, he's gonna bring them down. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted.
All right, bro.
All right,
Enjoy the run. Yes, sir. All right.
But that's just all I got from that.
Okay, were there any other reference verses about the indignation of that? Like that maybe that mixture could be full of?
That sounds like Nebuchadnezzar.
Red. I'm looking at the wine is red, that's blood.
Okay.
It is full of mixture. And he poured out of the same. Talking about that's the way I'm seeing it as he talking about his wrath. He's pouring out his wrath.
Like Revelation 14?
What's that?
Like Revelation 14?
Something like that. Right.
With the wine of the wrath poured out without mixture.
Without mixture. He ain't even cut now.
And then verse 10 it says all the horns of the wicked.
That's when verse 10 says, yeah, all the horns of the wicked also will I cut off. But the horns of the righteous, he says, shall be exalted.
Mm-hmm.
So he's bringing down, and the righteous he exalting up. That's what I got on that.
Okay.
Can't do what I'm going to look at.
That sounds like a millennium.
Yeah, that's what I have on that. It says, for in the hand of the Lord is a cup, wine of blood, full of mixture,
Yeah, no.
and poured out of the same, of the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth will bring them out and drink. And they gotta be talking about his wrath. They
Yeah.
gotta be talking about his wrath.
I'm as simple as whooping.
I just couldn't figure it out though. I kept reading that over and over and over again. And I was just like, full of mixture.
Yeah, like when you
Like-
said, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out. This, I'm thinking of this mixture. They gonna wring them out, this wrath, and they gonna drink it.
Mm.
That's why he said all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them.
Okay.
But I will declare forever and will sing praises to the God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted.
Yeah, that helps. Thanks.
Yeah, I know it's not clear, but yeah, that's all I got from that.
All right. Appreciate that.
That's why when you read verse 4, it says, and I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked lift not up your horn. Lift not up your horn on high. Speak not with a stiff neck. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. Nah, this is coming from the Lord.
Right.
But it says, but God is the judge. He put it down one and sitteth another. So like, who are you to think you running this?
Yeah.
I'll bring down and I'll put them up. For the hand of the Lord is, for in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. We don't know what that is. It is full of mixture. And he pour out the same with the dregs thereof. All of the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. But I declare forever and will sing praises to God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked, horns represents kings.
Mm.
So all the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted.
We're good friends. We're good friends.
Are we online?
What you got? Yeah.
Yeah. There's stuff I don't want to say.
What you got?
Don't rush.
Yeah.
Pretty sad about it too.
The form of
You don't have nothing?
No.
I'm saying, I just turned over to Revelation 14.
Yeah, go ahead and read that.
Did you read it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you pick it up at verse 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of his holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
See, that's taking you down to the end.
Yeah.
But that's just to let you know that the Lord, he ain't playing. He's not playing at all. You go ahead and take that mark if you want. Bad news. That's why when Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they didn't want to bow down to that statue.
Yeah, so with the mark, would you say it's a physical mark or is it something spiritual? Is it some type of behavior that you perform?
It have to be physical. It have to be something you can see. Because it can't be something spiritual. Because how do we know who had it?
By the way they conduct themselves, they're like.
That may be true, but I believe it has to be something that you can see. Let's go read it. Say Revelation.
Folks always coming up with bootleg and counterfeit. They coming up with bootleg and counterfeit like merchandise and stuff. I can see people say, well, I didn't take the mark, but I got these bootlegs right here. You can act like you took it. Just go ahead and put this bootleg mark on and just act like they act. I say that because it's a movie called Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I believe. And aliens from outer space came to Earth. Anyway, so if you behave like them, and just shut your emotions and feelings off, you would be able to like walk and cohabitate amongst them.
Right.
But once you show an emotion, that's when they chased you and they, you know, went after you. So.
Yeah, that's why I say it have to be something that you can see.
That's what I'm saying. So if you just wear this,
Because-
you get this mark, wear it, then you good, you cool. No head
Right.
chopping off.
Right, but if it's something spiritual, like you can just lie and say you have it, just to avoid getting killed.
That's what I'm saying. So if it's just something physical, no, that's what I'm saying. You know, I pose the question. It must be your conduct. I'm not saying it must be, but I'm saying I would think it's more so your conduct, because if everyone looks the same, like if it's just a uniform or
Right.
something physical that you take on, then it's easy to, you know, imitate or imposter that. You gotta be somehow like you say, no, we gotta know for sure. If you ain't behaving like we behave, or you didn't show up to, let's just say they had some type of wild, crazy party with stuff going on, bestiality and all that, and you don't indulge in it, it's gotta be something, you know, like you doing, your behavior. Otherwise, you can play it out, you can fake it, you know, you can fake it.
Let's go to 13.
I just think.
Revelation 13, but I just, you know, it gotta be something physical.
I think I know you talking like that one movie with the 18, where the guy that Mr. T, he played it. I don't know, what's it called, The Tribulation or something like that, some type of Christian movie where like this movie the end, like Armageddon or something, when the mark of the beast is actually starting to get into effect. But they actually like portray like the Antichrist and stuff, and he gets into this position where he gets all the militant men to pretty much deactivate their nuclear weapons and give all authority weapons to him. And then he turns it around, trying to turn the whole world, he threatens to not turn the world by making people take this mark. And then people taking that mark and stuff, Mr. T, I guess, got smart to where he got like some fake mark where he on his hand where it could pull the security systems and stuff. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't a real mark. Like somebody thinks part of the mark and then he'll peel it off. No, I'm just pretending. Nah, pity the fool.
You think about Ash Wednesday. They going around putting ashes on their forehead. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something you can see
Yeah.
to let you know, like, yeah, this is what we doing. They got it on their hand or on their forehead, practicing it. Revelation 13 and put it up at verse 11.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. And he exercised all power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Talking about the Roman Empire. Go ahead.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image up to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live.
And did live. Go ahead.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image
Right, go ahead.
of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right, so hey, you all know when we get his power from Satan. But he's making this image move and speak.
Yeah.
It says, and he had power to give life into the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast shall be killed. So if you don't worship this image, you're going to die. Keep going.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
So you're going to receive this mark on your right hand or on your forehead. So there's got to be something that you can see. Or there have to be.
But after that, you still behave or conduct accordingly to whatever.
Well, if you don't, that's the thing though, if you don't conduct yourself according to what's going on, you're going to get killed.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So they're going to be able to say, you ain't one of us.
Like you're going to have to ain't no faking you ain't gonna worship the
Correct.
image
Correct.
unless you gonna be like,
You don't bow down, just like Meshach,
Right.
Shadrach, and Abednego.
Right.
Yeah, you don't bow down. Oh, why y'all stand? I get it.
Mm-hmm. Keep going. Yes.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
And you don't know who that is. That's the vicar.
Curious?
Uh-huh.
Victor Miscarriage something. 666.
Curious Philly.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Yeah, but you're not gonna be able to buy
Fisher
or sell.
Christ.
Fish
Antichrist.
Fish. The fish hat.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Yep, it is, yeah. You can be able to buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast.
Hey,
Or the number of his name.
Fish hat. It might never be 666 or the hash mark. It might be like a fish hat. Like they might actually get like real, like make it like some type of corporation company, like a Walmart or something, and say, hey, we just launched this new thing. And but in order to make it work, you gotta get this chip, and it got to be the Fisher little man hat, basically the mark of the beast for people that ain't got no knowledge and no study of this word.
That's the thing.
They can take that mark like, oh,
You
it's a
ain't
logo.
gotta-
That's it.
That's the thing. You ain't even got to trick nobody into doing that and taking that mark.
There's no trick on it.
Like, you got to think about it. You're not going to be able to buy or sell.
Yeah.
Well, they did just, I just got my ID, for my birthday, and they put me on the real ID, which is just a red dot on my identification card now. And it's like, now I can go into like federal buildings, and I mean, if you don't got it, you can't go into any federal building and anything that the government runs. So it's just like, and I have no choice in the matter. I mean, I can't say I don't want that on my ID, because in order to have an ID, you gotta get it.
Right.
Y'all don't know about this?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about, that real ID.
Yeah, it's not here yet, it's gonna come, because by 2020, it gotta be implemented everywhere.
At first, it started with the star. That star
Yeah.
being put on your ID. Then they came up with the red dot after.
Yeah, which
So
is-
that's the reason why the red dot ain't hit everywhere just yet.
No, it's not a watermark.
Because
You
right
actually
now
see
they
it on
still
the
stuck
ID.
on
It's a
gold
red-
star.
Yes, and the whole world is getting it for terrorist reasons or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, but I don't care about the ID.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just talking about-
I heard
There's gonna be
it's
something
passport.
physically on your person,
Yeah.
on your body.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying, you saying that's what the.
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
Right.
Right here. Yeah.
So, because you're going to need that in order to buy and sell. And you better take that.
Chip.
You want to make
You
your
chip.
money. You know, if you still want to be here, you still want to live in your house and drive your cars and all that stuff and go to work, you're going to need that mark.
So I'll be in the desert. I'm good. Well,
That's
if I
the
ain't
plan.
dead already.
That's the plan. Or be like Job, I'm in the grave.
On the real. Let me die. Good death.
We're not alone. You wrapped it up real quick last week.
On the real. Don't let me die no way.
If we die, we die.
I know, right?
I
I ain't worried about that.
Just like, I'll just tell you this real quick, Ian, and then I gotta get on the way. Me and Brother Allison had a talk, and it was just like, you remember the witch trials and that's from Salem? You know, okay, you're a witch or you're a warlock, and they put the people on the stake and they, burned them, and they were like, well, just confess you're a witch, you know what I'm saying, and we'll let you go, or you're a warlock. And them people said anything to get out of that, what they was being tortured and go through, or the Spanish Inquisition, they were like, tortured and stuff. And you'll say anything once that flesh get that hot poker in it, and they set you on fire,
Right.
and take anything. And them people died not being a witch or a warlock or using divination, but it's like your body gonna make you say whatever once they torture you.
That's
get out of
why I believe there has to be something to see.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Because
not gonna be quick.
you say what you want to see. Hey, I'm gonna examine your body.
Yeah,
Where the mark at?
it's gotta be visible. So
Oh,
you gotta,
I was gonna get it. I'm gonna get it tomorrow. Nah,
Let's
okay.
get it right now. Let's get it right now. I got two right here.
brand new.
You want it right
I
now?
say brand. I don't know what it's gonna be, but we're gonna get you right here.
What if it's to remove, what if it's to remove something off of you? That'll leave a mark. What if it's to remove something off of you? Your ear, you know, I don't know.
That thing said it says a mark on your right hand or in their foreheads. And the only thing we can compare that to is what they do on Ash Wednesday. And that's something that you can see.
Okay.
They willingly are doing it.
Right.
And that's how you can tell. I can tell from them and from you. I can tell that you serving the true living God,
Correct.
and they serving
Their beliefs
Satan.
and idols and stuff, yeah. Okay. That's it, that's all I got. Sister Clara, I apologize.
Side note, that whole us being different tribes identifying me, like something I always think about, it's just a comment I be thinking about sometimes, how they try to say like one landmass is a specific people or whatever. I be thinking about like in like Deuteronomy 28, verse 41. And I made this point before, but I always think about it on this topic specifically.
I'm just making your
Deuteronomy
things.
28 and 41.
Yeah.
Right.
It says, thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
Yeah.
I just think about it like, how can you say one specific people is Haiti, or like Haitians is Levites, Simeon is the Dominican Republic, they kids getting shipped up and sold out. So if I'm, right, like if I'm Judah and I'm in America, quote unquote, my son gets sold off to another place, says Haiti, okay, well then Judah's not all in one place. And if they get sold off too.
Even to take it further than that, let's go to Joel chapter 3. Joel chapter 3, verse 3.
And they have cast lots for my people.
Right.
They have given their glory for an harlot, and some their oil for wine, that they might drink.
So you don't know where he's from.
Right.
You was put on blocks and being traded. So it's like, it ain't like they just, they section you off. You know what I'm saying? You got the tribe of Judah here, and you got the tribe of Reuben here. Nah, we was just in that shit. All mixed in.
Variety package.
Then you dealing with people who, like, they not speaking English. I'm from Judah. Nah, they wasn't saying that. They speaking on an unknown tongue.
Yeah, they don't know our tongue. It doesn't.
And you dealing with Gentiles.
Right.
All they doing is this.
You can sell him for
That's a
200
strong one,
pounds.
bro. Like
Strong
that.
one.
That's it.
And looking at the girls. Looking at they, oh yeah, she you bring her in the house. Talking about children being separated. We've been separated. They've been separating families.
Right.
Telling you, they ain't just start that.
28, Deuteronomy 28, verse 49. Like, that goes exactly what you said about you don't, like, they didn't speak English. In 20 and 49 it says, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, the earth as swift as the eagle flight, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
That's right.
So you don't know what's going on.
But we know who. That wouldn't even be a punishment. That's the whole idea. You disobey God, I'm gonna punish you.
Right.
So for me to know what tribe I'm from, that's not being scattered. Yeah, I'm away from my land, but I'm still with my people. That ain't being scattered. Scattered is you all over the place. And you don't know who you are. That's a punishment right there.
Byword, proverb.
You all over the world, you got a nickname in every country for you. What is that? Is that? No, that's Deuteronomy. I think it's in Deuteronomy.
What are you looking for?
It's 2868.
You gonna bring these things in remembrance?
Sound like medicine.
No, these things shall come to pass.
So the curses to the blessings? I mean, the blessings to the
Is
curses?
that Deuteronomy 30?
That's Deuteronomy.
Yep, that is Deuteronomy 30. Yep. Pick up that Deuteronomy 30, pick up that verse 1.
And it shall come to pass when all things are come upon thee,
Uh-huh.
the blessing and the curse,
The blessing and the curse, go ahead.
which I have set before thee.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Lord God hath driven thee.
Ooh, you gonna call them all to mind. Whether the Lord has driven you. We sit here reading this Bible and we're like, hold on, that happened to us. But yet still, you got people on the other side of the world reading the same thing. Yo, that happened to us. Because we scattered all over.
Similar to.
Verse 2.
And shalt return unto the Lord thy God,
Uh-huh.
and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day.
Go ahead.
Thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul,
Keep going.
that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity.
He's
and
going to
have
turn your
compassion.
captivity into what? He's going to turn your captivity and have compassion upon thee. Go ahead.
And will return and gather thee from all the nations, whether the Lord God have scattered thee.
And that's the beauty of it. It wouldn't be no purpose for us to know who we, if the Lord, what would be the purpose for the Lord to gather us if we know who we are? The Lord gonna gather us because we don't know who we are.
Right.
Verse 4.
If any of thine be driven out unto the outermost parts of heaven,
Uh-huh.
from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee.
Go ahead.
From thence will he fetch thee.
Go ahead.
And the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it.
Uh-huh.
And he will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy father.
Multiply thee above thy fathers. But thank the Lord for this book here.
Right.
Yeah, that chart is bogus.
We're doing damage control. There's nothing wrong with white folks in there.
They slick.
Yeah.
They shoot down. They shoot down the Europeans. But then they bigging up the Puerto Ricans and all. Like, yo, they Gentiles too.
All right.
All right, brother, man.
That's the 10th time you did. It's the 10th time.
10th time.
You gonna close out or what we doing?
Yeah, we can close that.
We got no questions online.
Since Tony Slump, I'll take over.
Tony survived!
Yes, sir.
Really?
Oh, excuse me.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done in earth.
Thy will be done in earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
Lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from from evil.
Nor deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
For he is good.
For he is good.
His mercy endures
And
forever.
his mercy endures forever.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
For he is good.
For he is good.
His mercy endures forever.
And his mercy endures forever.
In Jesus' name we pray.
In Jesus' name we pray.
The Holy One of Israel.
The Holy One of Israel.
King of kings.
The King of kings.
Lord of lords.
And the Lord of lords.
One true God.
One true God.
There is no other.
And there is no other.
Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.